teachers and parents and everybody will see to it. Whether this fellow really wants to be there, he deserves to be there, he understands anything is another question. You have to put him through that juicing machine and get his juice out. By the time he is 18, the fellow is perfectly juiced. Whether he is a person useful to himself or to society, one doesn't know. We don't ask all these questions, silly questions. We may ask an employer counselor to find out which subject will be good for him. Sometimes. But the fundamental question, whether he is at all interested in learning, nobody goes to ask him. He has been pushed into this place and everybody is pushing and pulling. Somebody is pulling him up, somebody is pushing from behind, everybody's image is at stake, including that poor boys and the parents. Everyone is after this fellow's life, including himself. And then he comes out. Then he wonders what to do. If the fellow is interested in learning, the fellow need not seek any further advice. He will know where to go, what to do, which exams to give. Parents keep pushing them around. उससे मिल ले, इससे मिल ले, इधर बात कर दो, उधर बात. मुझे कैरियर क्या लेना चाहिए? Become a cycle वाला career. The fellows are lost once they come out. They just don't know what to do. Even at graduation, they don't want to do. They just don't know what to do. Lost. Whole continent, subcontinent is lost. There is no clarity because hundreds of choices are available. The fellow doesn't know what he should be taking. Every choice looks equally good. Whether he is good for each choice, that he does not know. All choices seems to be nice and very nice, and all these things is very. इसमें scope है. This also you will be told by society because society is interested in the fruits, results. इस branch में scope है. Whether he has the mental microscope to look into that, he does not know. But he likes that. Words, all big, big, big words. Environmental sciences. In the Indian Institute of Science, I saw the Department of Environmental Sciences. Not one vehicle was electric. Department of Environmental Sciences. It is a joke. And so this lost population means a fellow is not a yogya. The person was never a yogya. Peet ke, you don't make somebody a yogya. Either he is yogya or he is not yogya. Yogyata can also be cultivated, but he must have the stuff, right? So to be a Shishya is not a matter of announcement. A Shishya is Jnana Yogya. And when it comes to Brahma Jnanam, when it comes to self-knowledge, the Shishya is a different Shishya. Not only is he Yogya by this Sadhana Chatushtayam which we have seen, but he has a readiness to surrender his ego at the feet of the teacher. One does give the benefit of doubt to every teacher in every subject, but here this person with Purushartha Nischaya is willing to surrender because there is a recognition that nothing else will solve my problem. And the second recognition is the Guru whom I have approached will be able to solve the problem. There is a certain surrender implied even when a patient goes to a doctor. Because mostly the patient knows nothing. The patient is only interested in a desirable outcome. He goes with the prayer that nothing serious should be there. What it will turn out to be, he does not know. The best bet is you go to a doctor who can examine you very thoroughly, and a doctor who is smart enough to conclude properly with an examination and a history and investigations. That is the doctor's smartness, a smart doctor. Smart means this, not today's street smart, etc. Is a clever doctor. This used to be the earlier words. Now they don't use these words, I guess. Your best bet is this person. And therefore, there is a degree of surrender involved. Pet mein dard hai. That means I am ready to lie down on the couch and show my tummy. Several years ago, there was a fellow who came and said there is stomach pain, and he pointed out where it was. And he readily lay down, and then his stomach was examined and everything. I tried my level best and found nothing in this fellow's. I said, I don't see anything in your abdomen that is worth the problem. Then he gets up and then said, not me, but it's my wife's. So on behalf of his wife, this fellow has been showing his stomach, and I, like a fool, have been examining this fellow. After half an hour of sweating, I couldn't find anything wrong. Then this fellow says he is reporting on, and he never said that. कहाँ दर्द है, इधर दर्द है, इधर भी होता है, नहीं होता, उधर होता है, इधर नहीं होता. And he has come and shown himself, because in his family women don't go to show anyone. हाल बता के दवाई लेके आना, old techniques. I did not know what to tell this fellow. And possibly when you give medicine also, he might take on behalf of his wife. So when you go to the doctor, you have the readiness to accept the verdict, to follow the instructions. A certain degree of surrender is implied. If some surgery is involved, there is a total surrender. If it's a surgeon and that person has to operate upon you, you have to have complete Shraddha. First of all, in his degree, in his education, he will find out all these things beforehand, and then he says, "ये तो पेट को खोलना पड़ेगा," and then you allow it. It's not like allowing your baggage to be opened by security people. This is much more than that. And you cannot write poems and give it to them. There used to be a poem in the old days we used to read. Then there was a patient with inguinal hernia. He told his surgeon, "Gold hernia, while carving my middle, be sure you don't fiddle with structures that do not concern you." Now this, nobody gives here. In Hindustan, it is 100% surrender. Do whatever you want. And he will sign on the paper also, which anesthesia wala will tell him, if you don't come back, it's not my responsibility. That's why they ask fundamental Brahmagyana questions when the fellow comes out of anesthesia. Who are you? Naam kya hai? Idhar se aaye ho? Kahan ho? Fundamental questions. These are asked there because the fellow has surrendered. When surrender and Brahma Vidya go together, some questions at least are asked, not answers. So like this surrender is there because there is Ananya Gatihi. There is no other way for this person. There is a recognition of the helplessness of procuring this knowledge from somewhere. It's not available in the market. It is not a route that he has traveled. But somebody can seek help if the route is not traveled. You can have Google Map, you can have Maple, or you can ask somebody on the road. You can do all these things. I mean, selective acceptances of what people say. This is not the Sharanagati that we spoke about. It is the willingness to offer one's ego, one's I sense at the altar of knowledge of the self. Because the problem is with the I sense. It is for no other reason. It is not a sense of subjugation for anything. It is because the problem is centered upon the I, and therefore the solution also must be centered upon the I, and therefore this cannot be held up as a roadblock to my knowledge. That only because the I sense is involved in self-knowledge, one needs to surrender. And so the Shishya has a readiness to surrender. At the same time, the Yogya thought to know. He's not a fool, a very prepared person. And the prepared person, in short, is a saintly person. A saintly person who is an intelligent person also goes to the teacher. The recognition of the Bhava problem, the problem of samsara, is his own understanding that he has come to after some deliberation, and therefore he is at the feet of the teacher. So tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva bhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham, the Mundaka Upanishad says, the Guru Upasadanam. So is Guru a psychotherapist for neurosis? If the problem is only psychological, but here the problem is not a psychological one. The problem includes psychology. Otherwise, you have psychologists, and they are quite smart psychologists, uninvolved psychologists, and they can also properly give you a psychotherapy. So a guru is not simply a psychotherapist for a neurosis that I had. So don't understand this way that Arjuna had neurosis. That's why he went for treatment. This is projected. Even some people teaching Vedanta, these modern Vedanta fellows, put it out like this, that Arjuna had neurosis. So everyone in the world has neurosis, that means. Arjuna's recognition of a topical problem leading him to a fundamental problem is his buddhi, is his viveka. There are psychological and emotional effects of every problem. That also you can see in Arjuna, but that is not what he had gone. One gentleman came and told me, Swamiji, I gave a talk in one place. There are people in psychology who had called me to give me a talk. And then I told them all diseases in psychology and the solutions are described in Bhagavad Gita. So it's the greatest textbook of psychology. Strange fellow, old man, he has nothing else to do. I said, what were you doing? I am a professor of botany. How come you are tinkering with psychology? I found this. Everything from schizophrenia to this is mentioned there. I don't know what to call these people. He requires a psychiatrist himself. He declares Gita is psychological grantha. And to suggest to him that he has to go to a psychiatrist, you have to leave it to somebody else. But I could have done that, and I would have also been rid of a problem. He would not come to me again. If you tell him you deserve to see a psychiatrist, he will not come to you again. Because he doesn't, Acha, this Swamiji thinks I am a pagal. What else? So Guru is not a psychotherapist, although Guru is also a psychotherapist. The problem of samsara is not a neurosis. Problem of samsara is something that has been understood by somebody. A Shishya is a person who has some insight into this problem, as we shall see. Sa Gurumeva Bhigachet. The Guru word is used only for this person, the one from whom you gain self-knowledge. There is no other person called the Guru. Pramana Vakya Prabodhakaha, Mahavakya Upadeshaka. These two names are significantly used in place of the word Guru. Mahavakya Upadeshakarta or Pramana Prabodhakaha. The Pramanam, which is in respect to the Atmavastu, in respect of the self, is not something which you can use. Pramanam we saw, Pramayaha Karanam. Prama is knowledge, Karanam is an instrument of knowledge. Here it is Shabda Pramanam, and the Guru is the Pramana Prabodhakaha. He is the person who employs this Pramanam. Unlike your normal use of Pramanam. What is normal use of Pramanam? Pratyaksha Pramanam. My world of perception of this objective reality outside the world are my 5 principal sense organs, and based upon the data furnished by these senses, I have a calculation that is called inferential understanding. And that is also a valid means of knowledge based upon this fundamental means of knowledge, which is called Pratyaksha Pramanam. Pratyaksha Pramanam is called. Pratyaksham means which is perceptible by the senses. Mula Pramanam. We use Mula Pramanam, that which you are in possession by default. Okay. Mula Pramanam you have, and you are the one who has Mula Pramanam, and you gain knowledge which is called perception. The 5 senses give you perception. Based upon perception, you can have inference, thought inference. So what is secondary as a Pramanam is Anumanam, Upamanam, Arthapattihi, Anupalabdhihi. All these are secondary to perception. Okay. In Pratyaksha Pramanam, you, the knower, employs the Pramanam. Your eyes, your ears, your tactile sense, your sense of smell, you're keeping the rasgulla on your mouth, inside your mouth or on your tongue. So you are the knower, and I have the Pramanam, built-in Pramanam, standard equipment Pramanam, and then I have perception. So my knowledge data bank is perception plus what is associated. Your daughter comes back from school in the evening, and you say open your mouth, and you keep the baked rasgulla in her mouth. After a few complimentary words about its taste, she will ask, "Aaj kaun aaya tha?" Because she knows her mother. My mother won't get all these things. She is quite health conscious. Somebody would have come. And then, is it this person? Most likely person to visit often. So there is what is called inferences. Somebody who comes often is this person, but he often comes empty-handed, so it cannot be that person. Somebody who always comes with something is this person. He doesn't come quite often. And it is less likely that this person will overcome his miserliness and bring something. So therefore, it must be that uncle. Pappu Chacha aaye the kya? If there is a Chacha like that. Now that it is not the taste which is telling this girl this, but then there is an inference that you draw. So you know more than the perception. You know a little more than the perception. You find something wrong with your room the next day when you reach your cabin. Who left the door open? Inquiry. I did not. Who left the door open? I can inquire. Who left the door open? Did someone open the door in my absence? So many things are there. This thing has fallen. That thing is not in its original place. Everything I can understand. So what is not in its original place? I have kept the pen stand here. Now it is not available. Anupalabdhi, it is not there. Now I have memory of where it was, and therefore somebody has fiddled with this. Ultimately discovered that another fellow was called from another lab, and he said, "Do you come here? I will tell you who is the mischievous person." And you go there, and then it shows you tiny marks on your table. That means a mouse has come inside. Oh, chuha tha. This is just evidence. This is how you investigate. You did not see the mouse. You have only seen the footprints. And it is possible for you to conclude that the mouse had played and danced here while you were away. And what has happened? How did these peanut skins reach this place? No human being will put it there. It must be the job of mice. You have never seen them, but you have the knowledge. The knowledge is more than simply perception. The senses give you perception. That's called pratyaksham. But pratyaksha anumanabhyameva jnanam anuvindate. This perception and inference should go together. And there are many things that are there in this clause called inference. There is anupalabdhi also, certain thing missing. You can find out. So and so has not come. That means some problem. There is one fellow who used to write. This fellow is out of the country. In 1 or 2 weeks, you will have some riots here. So precise this fellow's predictions used to be. And he used to feel a lot of gaurava in doing this. And invariably, he will show a coincidence. If this fellow is missing from the country, in 2 weeks, he will have some major trouble. Some unrest, some civil disobedience, some law and order problem, or something, some toolkit, some nonsense will be going on here. Some agitation, something that you can't be at peace, to unsettle the country. There is some fellow like that. And people think he's an innocent character. What is this? By the fellow's absence, he has concluded this fellow is missing means something is wrong. If somebody is present, something is wrong. There are many conclusions you come to in your life. You learn as you go by. So the Mula Pramanam is operated by you. You are the knower. And you are the one who uses the Mula Pramanam. Is it not? Except that when the perception takes place, the will of the Karta is suspended. In Atmajnanam, the Guru operates the Pramanam. Here you operate your Pramanam. You open your eyes and do whatever. Make conditions all right for the Pramanam to work. There also you have to make conditions all right for the Pramanam to work. But here it is your own Pramanam. You have it within you. Whereas for self-knowledge, the Pramanam is not in your hands. You have to allow the Pramanam to work. You have to allow the Pramanam to operate. Then you have knowledge. Similarly, the Pramanam has to operate even when it is Shabda Pramanam, and you have to have an extra ounce of Shraddha to let the Pramanam operate and let the seeing happen. Here you have got to do nothing to see it happens. Just the conditions are fulfilled for a Pramanam to operate. Light must be sufficient for you to see. That is all. Your eyes must be all right. There must be no refractive error. These things you correct. Bring in light, put on your spectacles, and then you will see what is to be seen. Hearing problem, put a hearing aid and you will hear what is to be heard. I don't know if you can do something about taste. Anyway, so now in this objective world of reality, which turns into your experience through perception and through inference, you communicate this through language. There is thoughts and you communicate it through language. And therefore, this whole language to deal with this objective world of reality only. Because that's all I know. My experiences I must relate, pass it on to somebody else. I can't keep it to myself because they are so exciting or so depressing. I need to pass on. So humanity is anxious to share. Today you have to only click a button. But in this process of sharing, you use words, images. You use something to share that experience or share that perception with another conscious person. So you use words. Words also give rise to some kind of knowledge. Everything jnanam takes place. You hear the words and you see the words as they are. The mind sees those words. You hear the words. You may not have a direct perception of the object. You may scan your memory and find out if this word relates to some previous perception. This word relates to some previous object that I have objectified. I say tomato. I hear the word tomato. Sometimes I see the spelling also. There are some people who are very advanced people. They start seeing spellings, spell bees. And in your mind, the image of a tomato comes. There is a knowledge of a tomato. However, this is not the perception of a tomato. I understand the tomato well because I have a prior experience. If I had never seen a tomato, and the word is used, it may not convey anything to me. No knowledge whatsoever. Words, empty words. I can generate the semblance of a knowledge through showing pictures of a tomato. This also I use. You see what? Anaconda. In the Amazon, you have this huge python called anaconda. Huge snake it is, very big snake. Can swallow a human being also. Snakes can swallow many things bigger than their own size because their jaws will separate and open and can get back also again. They can only swallow their prey. Have you really seen an anaconda? No. No one has seen an anaconda, but then if an anaconda is shown, you can identify. Because someone has shown you a picture or a movie of anaconda, some documentary on nature they have made you see. Although it is not the real perception, but it is somewhere close. You can also have a 3D picture where almost the experience is given to you. Some replication of perception is possible, though it's not exact perception. When I say tomato, you understand tomato. But when I don't say that, then what happens? When I don't say that, you see a real one. It is there in the Swami's hand, there is a tomato. Small one, little tomato, desi tomato. For the people sitting right in front of me, it is perception, exact perception. For you, it's a picture. Although all this is live, but then for you, really it's a picture. But even in the picture, you perceive a tomato only. This perception is different from when I say use the words tomato. Right? This exact tomato you're able to see in all its dimensions. Whereas tomato in your mind is bringing a previous image of a tomato that has been seen. Right? This is perception. And your mind infers a tomato the moment I use the word tomato without showing you the tomato. So pratyaksha anumanabhyam jnayate. The understanding takes place, a vritti jnanam takes place. The tomato doesn't go and sit in the brain. I understand a tomato. So when pratyaksha pramanam is operated, if I simply said tomato, you can know the tomato. I'm using words, but still you can know the tomato. Because it refers to a word whose meaning you have perceived. In fact, you had perception of the object, and then its meaning, its name was told to you. From your childhood, you have been seeing multiple objects. One of those objects was this fellow, and they told you this is called tomato, this is called tomato, this is called takkali, and there are many names given in various languages for this fellow. And then you discover whenever this word is uttered by association, the memory you bring, and then the object comes to your mind. This time it is not perception, but it is a vritti. A tomato vritti comes inside and makes you perfectly understand what is being spoken about. If there is an object you have never heard about, and it resembles something in part and something else in part, if I can put these two ideas into your mind, you can roughly understand what it is. You can roughly understand what it is. This animal is a cross between this and this. So while it has got horns like this, but it has got a tail like that. Its size is like this. You can roughly make that fellow see by a description. So short of a perception, you can understand. Knowledge of objects is still possible. That's why these words are used. So much is used to convey feelings, to convey emotions, to convey so many things you use. You read a passage and you can start crying also. How is that possible? Because it can invoke that feeling. So some people write very well. Humor can be created. All this can be created. So you can, it's not perception, but it is an understanding. Direct perception, the pramanam must be there. So a word, all these words have come upon this earth in human languages because there are some objects that signify. The words signify those objects, and therefore for the objects are primary and the words have come secondarily. That's why objects remaining the same, there are many names in many languages. In the same language, there are many names. In Sanskritam, you have got so many synonyms and synonyms and synonyms for the same word, for the same object. I understand this because there is some object which it refers to, which is known to mankind and known to me in particular. If not known to me, you can go to the nearest object that you know and try to explain to you. The fellow has not seen a coconut tree, you can still explain how a coconut tree will look. How tall it is. Oh, there are no leaves in the bottom. The leaves are only there on the top. You only find the marks of the fallen leaves. So it is a trunk which is cylindrical. It goes straight up. You can imagine. Up there, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet, up there, the leaves are at least 20 to 30 feet long. Oh. And from below, if you look at them, they will look only 5 feet. Because things at height don't give you the same impression of it. And you think small tomatoes are hanging there. Actually, they are big coconuts because, again, height. A lot of things you can convey. The fellow can roughly understand. So next time, whenever he sees a coconut tree, he said, "Dekho, coconut tree." It is possible for you to describe quite precisely. That's why there are descriptions and descriptions and descriptions in this world. Varnanatmakam. However, when I use some word like eternal, when I used tomato, although there was no, had I used the word mango, things would have been better. But just because I used tomato, it doesn't mean that the whole relationship got soured in the manner. But you perfectly understood what I was saying when I said tomato. But when I use the word eternal, what do you understand? For this word eternal, there is no object. You do not relate it to some object in the world which you have seen or which you have experienced, and therefore it's not a seen object, it's not a heard object, and therefore it makes little sense. Therefore, Atma is eternal. If I say this, then there is something to be assimilated. Mere words will not do, because you are using some word whose object is not known. Once we are speaking about something which is not a known thing, neither in your memory you can recall, nor in your experiential record, there is something which is signified by the use of that word, then you are in a lost ground. But the words are nevertheless there. In the objective world of reality, they have a very limited meaning, and you are not meaning that. That is also clear. But then what it really means, I do not know. Atma is eternal, therefore empty words. So there are so many words. So you cannot say that I have understood this. You said Atma is eternal, I have understood this word. Now I have to realize it. This is another problem. I have perfectly understood the word, now I have to realize it. The only thing that has to be realized is your mistake, that you have not understood it. There are no multiple understandings. There is only one. See, this is intellectual understanding. The people use these words. This is intellectual understanding. Now we have to realize it. Hey, understanding is only intellectual. There is no other understanding. These people have strange mental attitudes. Hey, all attitudes are mental only. There is no dental attitude. I didn't like his mental attitude. What other attitude is there? I'm not after intellectual knowledge. What knowledge are you after? Is there any other knowledge? There is no other knowledge. Knowledge means intellectual. Intellect is there for knowledge. Perception, friends, all this is knowledge. It takes place in the buddhi, in the intellect. This fellow wants some other kind of knowledge. Then you better luck next time. Be born as a Rahul. You'll definitely have a Rahul birth. So, there is no other knowledge than intellectual knowledge. So, if there is an error, it is not that I have understood and now I have to realize it. They think there is something to be experienced. This is what they call realization. Atma is to be experienced. Like you have to cook it in the kitchen. All that you have heard is raw materials, and then you have to cook Atma and create something which you can eat, and then you can taste it. So there is a theory, these are words, and then there is a practical. It's like theory is like you have laid an egg just now. Now I have to sit upon it and hatch it. This is how it is taught. There are some schools that teach you like this, and that is why it is better to be clear about what we are talking. We are talking about knowledge only. I am not an experience hunter. We have already seen that experiences and what are the limitation of experiences, and that experience hunting is not what I want. I want to know the experiencer. The one who experiences, the nature of the experiencer is to be known. It's not another object of experience. Then I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the experiencer. Because the problem lies there. Oh. So then realization is only one thing, my folly, that I have not understood, and therefore make attempts to understand. But how can this person do? Because these words are strange. They mean no known object. So whenever I say eternal, whenever I say divine, whenever I say consciousness, whenever I say nitya, whenever I say spiritual, whenever I say infinite, words, more words, and more words. So Pujya Swamiji used to use some concocted words and then tell them, you know how Atma is? Atma is Gagabuga. It is ambrosia. What sense did it make to you? Gagabuga, something. And then many words, you can create some words and speak. The same impact it has when someone says Atma is consciousness. Atma is eternal. Atma is nityam. Atma is shuddha. Atma is uninvolved. And then you get involved. I have understood, now I have to realize it. Atma is Gagabuga. You have to understand your foolishness that you have not understood anything. So there is no Atma. So some people say Atma va are maitreyi shrotavyo mantavyo nididhyasitavya. Therefore, shrotavya, you have to hear, listen to it, and then you have to contemplate over it, and then you have to experience it. Here, this is the root of the problem is here. From here then, but poor Yajnavalkya never said all these things. Drashtavya means over. Atma va are drashtavyaha. So he says drashtavya will take place only when there is shrotavya and mantavya, the nididhyasitavya you will see. Or self-concluded things. Therefore, it is not possible because you are not talking anything from the objective world of reality. Therefore, there is no way to know. There is no way to know. But there is no other way than to use the words. Therefore, words are there. The constraint is you have to use the words available in the language. Of course, a very good language. That is the beauty of it. It is Sanskritam. So it should not sound Russian. Familiar words, but they mean nothing to you. Unless unfolded, the words make no sense to you. Unless unfolded, Atma is eternal makes no sense to you. So the Shabda Pramanam, the Shruti words are handled by the Guru. Pramana pravartakaha, pramana prabodhakaha is handled by the Guru. They are meant to make me see that I am free. One has to use the very same words because there are no other words. And even if there are some other words, they will still make no sense. Because it is an unseen object, unheard object, unexperienced object, unknown object, and therefore words will have to be used. But then the skill lies in removing every shade of objective word meaning from the word. That's called Lakshartha. So it is never the direct meaning of the word like the word tomato. It's an implied meaning of the word because since it is not a known object or it is not an experience, it is nothing like that in this Srishti. Therefore, there cannot possibly be a word But because words we have are only from what is there in the Srishti, I have necessarily got to use those words. But when those words are used, the teacher, the guru, removes all the anitya meaning to the words. The direct meaning of the words is parried, is removed little by little, and then you start appreciating what it is. And therefore, this external pramanam, only the guru can operate. In fact, these words will only become pramanam when the guru operates the pramanam. Your will has no role. That is why it is so paramount to surrender to the guru and let the pramanam work, the Shruti pramanam, the magic of these words work upon you. So you have only got to expose yourself to the Shastra. The words only a deft handling. That is why he must be a Shrotriya, someone who is well versed in Vedanta Shastra. Here Shrotriya means well versed in Vedanta Shastra, not Karmakanda. Veda has so much, but here what is being spoken about as Guru is somebody who is the knower of the Vedanta Vakyas and one who can make another person see. Qualifications mean maturity. We have seen that the Yogyata means maturity. Jnana Yogyata means maturity, means certain things are understood and they are clear to me. Certain things. This much is already clear to this person who has become a Shishya. Only when one has once well examined the world of experiences, properly examined, not casually, because people, 99% people are casual about experiences. They are not observant. Not only are they not observant, they are non-thinkers. A Yogya person is a thinking person. Let this be very clear. Knowledge will not pour like rain when you sit and lie down on a charpai outside. You must extract the juice like the juice comes out of cane sugar. The sugar cane is there, the juice will come out, only juice has to be extracted. The Jnana Yoga has to be undergone. And therefore, a person must be Jnana Yoga, ready to question and understand, and ready to go with the Shastra. First of all, have that much of Shraddha to go with the Shastra. What does the Shastra want to tell me? The very first attempt this person should have is, what is the Shastra wanting to tell me? Doubts are much later. Let me understand what it wants to tell me. I think it is, you think you keep it aside with you. Here your knowledge is of no consequence. Once understand what the Shastra wishes to tell you about yourself. So the Pramana Shanka has to be attended to through Shravanam. And this person must be a Yogyaha. The Shanka in respect of the Pramanam has to be attended to, because the person is unable to figure out that Shastra can show me myself. A known object can be revealed by words, an unknown object, how can it be? Then he has to understand bloody well, jolly well, that this is not an object, not even a bloody object, not even a good object. It is not an object. The words that are used to objectify are being used to a non-object. All the words that pertain to the non-self, the Jagat, the world of experience, are here being used. Of course, not all. Select words are being used because that is all you know. Just to begin from your knowledge. And your knowledge is of the objective world of reality. So you have to be picked up from there. So the words will be the same. But the Shruti will gently pick you up, knock off the known meanings of those words, which are used in sense of objects. And therefore, one has to have Shraddha to allow this to happen. One has to understand the Shastra is a Pramanam, the Pramana Shanka has to go. Only when one exposes oneself to a teaching like this, it's very relentless and systematic. Slowly, more of your ignorance in respect of yourself goes. And then you feel expanded. Oh, what is this? What is the Shruti saying? Therefore, the words used for the objective world of reality are now being used for the subject, the knower, something that language has never done. That is why it is Shabda Pramanam. But it is the Shabda Lakshyartha which becomes Pramanam. When Angira Rishi tells Shaunaka that, look here, even the words of the Upanishads themselves are not Pramanam. No Upanishad Shabda Rashi. The Upanishad Shabda Rashi is not Pramanam. The Pramanam is what the Guru makes out of it. The Pramana Prabodhaka is the teacher. Simply the words, undergoing and reading the words will give you nothing. Because the mere words are the words from this Jagat. And therefore simply thinking Upanishad words are the Pramanam directly. No, they are not directly the Pramanam. They are what? Lakshyartha. Through Lakshana Vritti, this is Pramanam. In the sense the words are never used. And therefore, a teacher has to be from the Sampradaya. That is the only way that person can teach you. There is no other way. And therefore, you have to go to a Guru. The Guru alone knows how these words are handled. And he makes you see the fallacy of certain things. Your assumptions, your notions, they get turned upside down because you've been assuming things, and it shows you how these conclusions are patently wrong. So foolish. Taken for granted. All those taken for granted things get demolished. I have built up my world of transactability on notions. And so many of them are pinned upon emotions. And therefore there is a royal demolition awaiting you. It is a royal demolition because my experiential world of reality and thereupon my conclusion, my inferences is entirely on a different platform, dealing with a different order of reality, and the self is not of that order of reality. It is the only reality. So the same words of the Shruti refer to the absolute. When not understood, they will still refer to the objective world. Therefore, a Guru is a Pramana Prabodhakaha. Mahavakya Upadeshakarta. He knows how the words are handled. The words play magic once they unfold the real meaning. And in the unfoldment, actually, it is like opening of a lotus bud. This is how it opens. The meaning gets opened when the non-meaning is dropped. This is not what it is meaning. This is not what it is meaning. This is also not what it is meaning. The traditional direct meanings of these words are systematically dropped away. For this, the person must have some yogyata, one who has examined the world of experiences. Then comes the real maturity that samsara is a bhava roga. This much he has already concluded. He has heard from elders, he has read from somewhere. The thing is, bhava roga is there, has to be appreciated. मैं तो मजे में हूँ, then okay. Then you don't have to become a Shishya. Everything is sorted for you. The Mahabharata has this very beautiful thing to say. Just like Bhagavan says, Dvavimau Purushau Loke, Ksharascha Akshara Evacha. Here there is a wonderful description in the Mahabharata which is very parallel. Yastu Mudhatamo Loke, Yastu Buddhev Parangataha, Tavetau Sukhamedhete, Klishyanti Antarito Janaha. Yastu Mudhatamo Loke, the most foolish people, the most ignorant people, and exceptionally knowledgeable people, the Brahmavid, these two have a good life. All other fellows in between get into trouble, like you and me. क्लिश्यन्ति अंतरितो जनाः, बीच के लोग हैं, ये फंसे रहते हैं. They have little knowledge and that is the trouble. That fellow has no knowledge, no trouble. No confusion also. Everything is sorted. You become a jnani, everything is sorted. This in-between people, which is the majority, is in trouble. But fortunately, they better be thinking people, not just suffering people. So, once samsara is appreciated and not helplessly undergone. Samsara is not to be helplessly undergone. Samsara is to be appreciated. Parikshya Lokan Karmachitan. Parikshya Lokan. Pariksha is examining the experiences. Examining the experiences gained by doing karma, doing action, and doing meditation also. It is better to put it here. Parikshya, parikshanam kritva, samyak parikshanam kritva, having thoroughly examined what experiences gained by performing actions, doing actions, or doing meditation also. It will demolish some idea which people hold. So experience, meditation is another experience. Therefore, it is better announced here. Otherwise, people will think some worldly experience is there, it ends a matter in wakeful state and everything is sorted. But here, one must understand, examining the experiences that are gained by doing karma or doing meditation. Whether it is a manasa vyaparaha or it is a kayika vyaparaha, resulting in a result that is an experienceable thing. Parikshya is not by undergoing alone. It may also mean some undergoing, but it principally means parikshanam by buddhi only. Buddhya parikshya lokan. You don't have to undergo every experience to know. You need not undergo all those experiences because all the experiences in the world, there is nothing new. Same Giza Pita experience of your forefathers are still same thing for you. There is nothing new. It is foolish that I will undergo all the experience and conclude. Experiences are endless, and so you will end up never concluding. Parikshya Lokan really means parikshanam is done by the buddhi. Buddhya Parikshya. One need not experience, need not undergo all experience because there is nothing new. Same thing which your forefathers underwent. All people are undergoing. Sapta generation has undergone. Nothing new. This body, this physical body that I have is due to my past karma. That karma is called prarabdha karma. Rectified part of the cumulative karmas. I have this body I have got. This is called prarabdha vashat praptam shariram. Prakarshena arabdham. It has started fructifying. This is what it means. Prarabdha is some karma which has started fructifying. Means it is this life, cause for this life, this innings, this experience, this setting, this shariram. So this prarabdha karma, this body which I have got because of my past karma, which is now called prarabdha karma, because this body is now there. Once this prarabdha karma is exhausted, this body will perish. Parikshya Lokan. And for your pariksham, the first thing is this body itself. We see this happening. And all of us are going to soon join the majority. Most people have gone, and soon you will have the same address. Go, went, gone. Most people, where are they? Not here. Majority of people, joining the majority means joining the dead. Pitarloke mahiyante, let us say. All pitras you will become. So putras will start offering to you rice balls. That's what you will get. So somebody said, therefore eat whatever you want to eat. Later you will get only rice balls. Some people get only atta balls. And some water if you are lucky. So this experience tells us when alive, the shariram is anityam. Whatever set it in motion, whatever brought it together, whatever made it a sanghata undergoes vighata. It's a product of karma and therefore necessarily temporary, necessarily has an end. So what is anitya? Shariram is anityam. It is a product of karma. It will vanish in time. In your life of experiences, you will find that suppose you are working in LIC, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you work. Saturday, Sunday, you will have off. I have earned it. The weekend is earned. 5 दिन काम करो, 2 दिन मौज करो. 2 days you have earned. Mauj karo means not free fund. I have worked for those 5 days to earn this 2 days of not going to office, not going to work. Right? This earned thing, this 2 days as a result of the first 5 days. Karma Chitan. given to you by your karma, earned by your karma, result immediately given. 5 days you earn, in 2 days you get. But it doesn't go on and on. Sunday night it is over. Monday morning get back. Anityam. 5 days you work, 2 days you get to hang around, and then you are back to work, and nobody can wish you a good morning on that day because you're already sad that you have to work. You work for longer than you get an LTC, leave travel concession. 1 month you can take off. Oh, 6 weeks you can go, or something like that, whatever. Sometimes 2 months also people give. You can go. First of all, you have to find where I will go. How idhar jayenge? Andamans we will go. Nowadays we'll go to Lakshadweep. Should we go to Char Dham? All these things you will find out. Where should we go? Where should we go? That planning is going on, and there are so many things that comes to people. And you have earned it. Karmachitan. And then one day everything is packed. Your dress also changes. Mm-hmm. Colorful dresses come. Pants become shorter. More freedom. Your legs will be free. Hands will be free. More freedom is demonstrably seen. In photos that are taken in front of all stones, you can see the stone images are dressed properly. At least our forefather karigars and shilpis have ensured that those dolls are wearing better dress. And this fellow is modern fellow standing there. Hey, I am here, see. And then he begins his journey, and then very happy. Then there is a lot of Coca-Cola, and then a lot of what we call ice creams, and many things that are street food, and that food, this food, everything you have. And then soon the 6 weeks are over, and then you are back. Plop, ab to padna padega, papa. Whatever sweet the name of the Vidyalayam, Amrita Vidyalayam, but still you have to go and study. Aside, padna hi padega. It has an end. You earned it out of hard work for 1 year, but that 1.5 months or 6 weeks or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is, will come to an end. Chutti khatam to hogi. And then you will be back to work, and you don't like to work because that is a fundamental thing. Who wants to work? If there is a possibility, who wants to work? No, but that's why people want to go to Swargam, people want to. Why do you want to go to holiday? Because there you don't have to work. But this is earned. You have got it, and you exhausted. This is called exhausting. In front of your own eyes, the holidays are exhausted. Earned karma chitan. After many years of work, you will earn something called retirement with pension. That is a longer holiday, but that also will end. This experiential world of reality, every such earned thing also comes to an end. Whatever end you have reached will also come to an end. The results of actions can be, there is karma, and since there is karma, it presupposes there is a karta. The doer, I am there as the doer. Every karma has this doer, the action has a doer, and therefore every action has a phalam. Karma phalam is there, and the karma phalam can be anishtam, ishtam, mishram. This is how it is classified. Gita says anishtam, ishtam, mishram cha. It may be favorable, unfavorable, or mixed. Desirable, undesirable, or mixed. This is how we get our karma phalam. It's anishtam, ishtam, mishra. I may not like my body completely. If I like my body, I don't like the ailment in the body. If everything else is all right, my nose is not all right. If my skin is very nice, glowing, etc., etc., I have sun allergy. Everything cannot be acceptable. It is Mishram. Mishraji is always there. I have a big head but don't have the thinking capacity. How intelligent you look. People used to tell me, how intelligent you look. I said, I wish I were. And you become a loser because someone has this wrong notion about you and he will ask you questions which he should not be asking you. He can ask samanya questions. But because you have got some funny spectacles, he thinks this person got spectacular buddhi. So once I went for one of the examination and I removed this. I said, now please ask. अब तो बुद्धू लगता है. Not really. But then that is the only solution. Hey, it's mistaken identity. Just because spectacle doesn't mean that inside there is something great. So it's a Mishraji. I know also and I don't know also. Anishtam, Ishtam, Mishram. This is the karma phalam. Karma phalam is always of these three varieties, and they will all come to an end. What is Ishtam also will come to an end. You don't like it coming to an end, but it will come to an end. Anishtam, you want it to come to an end, it will definitely come to an end. Mishraji also will come to an end, whether it ends with the body or ends with time, whichever it is. Body also ends in time. The thing is, it ends in time. Anishtam or Ishtam or Mishram will end in time. And all this is called karma chitam. The karma phalam is called karma chitam. It is born of karma. Body or experiences, all of them will end in time. Body will end in time also because it is karma chitam. Experiences will end in time because it's also karma chitam. Like you have seen the holidays, like you have seen the weekly off, all this will come to an end. Money, we can see how it comes to an end. Stay out of job for 1 year, you will know how your bank balance is coming down. If you don't realize and keep spending, you will find that it is exhausted. Money exhausting, everybody can see. You go to the market with a purse, it will come back with half its size. In order not to let you be scared of spending money, they have digitized everything. Now you don't know what comes and what goes. Ting, ting, ting. 4 words, thing you put inside. Code, gone. Swipe, gone. Only at the month end you'll, 50,000 rupees gone. Plastic money, other money, digital money, every money, it exhausts. If you know how all it gets exhausted, you will be exhausted before you come to know. But then that this is, how did the money come? By karma, right? By efforts. By efforts, karma. As a phalam to that karma, you have got drishta phalam, money, as salary or as perks or bonus or whatever, as profits, whatever you call it. It is out of effort. So all that karma translates into another form called money. And this money translates into your experiences, your enjoyment, your possessions, this and that, everything. And then as they come, this exhausts. The same currency goes to somebody else's hands. And everybody thinks this Lakshmi is permanent. This is called Chanchara Lakshmi. Because she comes as currency. As long as there is currency about it, as long as it's current, it will stay. Then it becomes past very soon. So experiences, money, all these things, and karma phalam may be these three types. Money comes to you, it looks ishtam only. And ishtam, so much ishtam, it looks mishtam also. I have seen people kissing 500 rupee notes is how they will do. And next day it is not in his hands. Because somebody had kissed it before. He also lost it. Money doesn't stay. That is why she is called Chanchala. So Chanchala is actually a fact which you understand about all that is karmachitam. Examine. You don't have to hold money and examine. Examine. Parikshya Lokan karmachitan. One has to really examine whether these stay. These don't stay. They go away. At a collective level, if you look at things, Egypt has become history. Collective human endeavor, if you do, individually you have seen this. Collectively, Egyptians had a culture. They built all the sphinxes and these pyramids of Giza and all those things. Where are those people? Where is that culture? Gone. Where is the Roman culture? Gone. Where is the Mayan civilization? Gone. Where is Alexander the Great? I don't know if he still has a grave. Even the great is gone. Karmachitan, Lokan, Parikshya. Many people put together a civilization, not by intent, but by constantly endeavoring. Civilizations come up, they also go. Sabhyataएं नष्ट हो जाती हैं. Why they were put together by human effort. Certain things are there, religions, you don't hear about them anymore. Parsis are about to be extinct. Ratanji is also finding difficult to put the next man there. There are not too many. Maybe around 3,000-4,000 Parsis are left in India. That's all that is there. Which is so small a number to sustain. Economically they are well off, so they continue to live, but then as a culture it is all gone. Tata. And this Parsi is this nice name, Tata. Tata means Anityam. Civilizations have gone, kingdoms have gone, centers of power have gone. Centers of trade have gone. Empires have gone. So just as here, in this world of experience, results of actions are all anityam, like your money and holidays. In this world of experience, money and holidays gone. Similarly, tatha amutra punyachito loko kshiyate. Yatha iha tatha amutra. Like it exhausts and goes away. You can see the quantification. Itna kam, itna paisa, itna din, gaya. You see the anityata. Similarly, if you think some good karmas, good and wonderful karmas will get you punya, and punya will give you some consistency of pleasurable experience, that also must be understood like this only. Amutra punyachito loko kshiyate. Every holiday is subject to an end. So what is obtained out of punya currency also comes to an end. The same law of karma and karma phala holds there also. That also will go away. Don't worry, it will go away. What is desirable also will end. What is undesirable also will end. Both are anitya. अनुकूल desirable, प्रतिकूल undesirable, दोनों समाप्त होंगे. Sukha also is anukula, it will is also subject to time. Dukha also will go away. Sukha also will go away. Everything will go away. When it goes away, it depends how much karma is behind it. Nothing is permanent. The anityatvam is the pariksha. What you see is what karma produces as karma phalam is anityam. Therefore, the world of pain, that is, for example, narakam, or the world of pleasure called swargam, if there is something like that, also is anityam. Don't look for a different vyavastha at another place. There also it is the same. As here, so there, because the same law operates. Law of karma and karma phala will operate. Both are requiring a samyoga of karma, therefore there is a viyoga. Once the karma's effect is gone, it is like pain is there, you give this injection, it lasts that long. And then once the injection wears away, pain comes back. Similarly, so that's the effect of the medicine. Similarly, the effect of a pleasurable experience of some consistency or a painful experience of some consistency also will pass. Karma chitta. So this parikshanam is what an intelligent person will do. To be a shishya, one should be a parikshaka. All experiences for a person, for an individual person, the person is able to see all experiences, whether coming to you as the love of somebody, as the affection of somebody, as a support of somebody, as recognition from somebody, as criticism from somebody, as enmity of somebody. All this, every shade of reception or experience, hatred from somebody, comfort from somebody, opposition from somebody, celebration from somebody, all this which you see, these are all pairs, opposing things that all come and go. Agama payinaha anityaha tan stitikshasva bharata matra sparshaha. Like this, they have come to you because there is some karma phalam which has been good, and therefore you get affection for some time, love for some time. Some ulta karma, you will get some opposition for some time, some enmity from some time. Somebody is extraordinarily jealous of you. You got it. Some people are themselves jealous of other people. That is your own creation. Danger for tomorrow. But then when you, at the receiving end you are, then you understand. You as an experiencer, when you understand every shade of experience that comes to you from the outside world, affection, love, opposition, disregard, celebration, sorrow, pain, hatred, everything is anitya. Lokan Parikshya. There is nothing permanent here which you can cast your lot with. Nothing is worth banking upon. Nothing is permanent here in this human life. Not only this body is not permanent, nothing connected with the body is permanent. Every experience is temporary. Therefore, a person understanding in this human life everything to be anitya, all is anitya. So, Brahmanaha, a sattvika person, a person who is matured to sattva, who has these wonderful qualities of Daivi Sampad, who is a Viveki, he gains dispassion towards this Jagat, this samsara. This passion is called Vairagya, and it is arrived at by Vichara, by Pariksha, by thorough analysis. Everything here is anityam. Karma is finite, therefore karma phalam is finite, karma phalam is impermanent. I cannot expect anything here to be permanent because it is karmajam. परीक्षा इधर तो परीक्षा देते रहते हैं. This fellow Viveki takes pariksha. Pariksha of understanding. A Shishya is expected to understand this anityata of the Jagat. Then one's seeking is more objectively understood. Then what am I seeking in this impermanent world? And what is worth seeking in this impermanent world? He can have objectivity towards the seeking. Okay, you tell this to some fellow. इस जगत में सब कुछ 2 दिन का है, everything is impermanent, that is this. So, suppose some fellow says, let it be anitya, let it be impermanent. So what? I am happy with it. Some fellow who has not yet understood, you go and tell him this thing, this is all impermanent. There is a very interesting thing. Some few days ago, I think on Shivratri it took place, there are some people were awarded Content Creators Award. There are many more who are travel creators, but then these people were honored for being content creators. They are not contented creators, they create content. Obviously, when you create something, it will have some content. But I think it was to honor people who have created exceptional contents. So it is not Content Creators Award. Content Creator. What was the name of the award? Content Creators. Everyone creates content. Even trouble is a content. Valuable Content Creators Award. It should have probably been named something like that. However, they picked up only valuable people. A lot of people were there. Lot of people are there. Pradhan Mantriji was standing and standing and standing and standing. All these young fellows were sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and clapping and all that. But this old man was standing. Old young man was standing, still straight upright, and therefore his minister also had to keep standing. And other 2 fellows also were forced to stand. Everyone had to stand. The rest and only got to understand. People were brought in. There are some fellows who came to the dais to receive some awards that were given to them. There were young people, older people. One Kishori lady was there, young lady, I don't know, some name was there, some name she had. And so he himself used to give them the mic and make them speak something. So they will speak something, or the one fellow says, you must eat and drink and you should be fit and you should exercise, G. All this he said. Pehla nirogi kaya, something, he said something like that. And then one more lady came and therefore she said, you should have a spiritual view of this Jagat. Why should you not read the Bhagavad Gita and all this? Some people are there with lifestyle, some of them are committed to it. Many people had various things to say. Now that lady who comes and says about a spiritual life or into a deeper inquiry, next. We're all excited people sitting here, our Prime Minister encouraging every single person, and between 1 or 2 people come and speak about that we should really read our scriptures. What do you think these fellows are going to do? Okay. You create those contents, somebody will read, some Buddha people will read. It doesn't touch them. They're all creators, they're all creative people. Because everyone can be a creator. You can create mischief, you can create goodness, you can create enmity, you can create happiness, you can create. Everyone has got the power of creativity. So somebody can always say, Jagat anitya hai, to rehne do. Sanuki is Punjabi. How does it matter? Ki farak penda hai? If Jagat is anitya, so let it be anitya. मैं तो खुश हाँ जी, हाँ मैं तो चंगा हाँ, तो I am happy. Let the world be anitya. So what? Somebody can say that is the idea. This is not heard. पता नहीं क्या बोल रहे हैं, गीता पढ़ो वगैरह. Okay. And all the fellows are so-called Sanatanis only. In the world, they may have a Tanatani, but then they call themselves Sanatani. But then, when you sit there and something is mentioned like this, it is not found any favor. Why? Because their Antaratma says, it's Anitya, so what? I'm happy here. They're all happy people, looking also joyous and happy only. One fellow had worn some Vichitra kind of dress belonging to the medieval age. And he said, my India used to wear this long, one little boy studying the 12th standard. It is very interesting to see the fellow's courage to come like that. He's a strange looking fellow. People did not look like this. He would have at least cut his hair. He was almost looking like a, Sai Baba. But then, he was a young fellow, so he at least could speak in front of thousands of people. That is very nice about him. He was saying that I want people to dress up like our people, etc. But he is not a fellow, some Jyotishi also. He said, I am not a Jyotishi. He discounted himself and then he went away. Little boy. But the people sitting there, it's all okay. That state of their being happy is also temporary. They are not ready for the examination. Parikshya Lokan does not come to everybody. An in-depth look at one's own experiences does not come to everybody. All young people, the younger the person is, the more rajogani he is. He is looking forward to a dream. Ever less often he will see. Only after he crosses Grahasthashram he starts seeing, because this body may not last. Jo karna hai kar lo. You have been retired. Now nobody wants you. Therefore deeper questions he has to answer, because all the time that was for deeper questions he had lost. The best time to become a Shishya is when you are a Grahastha. If you fail to become one at that time, what is the use? But here this person, who is a young person, hundreds and thousands of people are not ready for even this examination. Examination is intellectual. Parikshya Lokan, not yet ready to examine one's experiences and learn. Not learning life hacks, but learning the impermanent nature of karma phalam. The finiteness of karma's result is not appreciated. So the fellow will say, I am not interested in any eternal phalam. Because I don't know what is eternal phalam, first of all. Number two, I have not seen any. Number three, since I have not seen any, the only choice I have got is to do this one. So I am doing it. Logical fellow. The eternal, nobody has seen. And therefore, I don't know what that eternal is, or if at all there is something like that, I don't know. What is unknown thing, why should I go after it? So the choice is only one. Whatever is visible, do it. So his philosophy is very clear. Materialistic fellow. But is that really what he is saying? We find once a person has some interest in spiritual life and comes, he find The first thing he discovers is others don't have. This is very funny. 2-3 years into it, he wants to pull some other fellows. And they say, क्या हो गया? इसे इसी उम्र में जाता है. If you go there and your parents have not started going, they get worried. अब इसकी शादी कैसे होगी? And probably it becomes difficult also. I don't know. Because to have like-minded fellows, you find it very difficult. How to find out? When fellows say, all these characters, if you describe, the fellow will be sannyasi and he won't get married. With all these qualities, why should he become a grahastha? They also have a point. Anyway, we want to have some, all these, but little qualities, like Bhagavan, little Bhagavan. Small measure, all the 6 Bhagas must be there. Anyway, so this person with this statement is also a non-thinking person. I have no concern with something which is permanent. Roga permanent, I don't know. How am I interested? Why should I study the Gita? Why should I study Vedanta? Why should I listen to this talk? Why should I do all that? Why should I make inquiry? All this, the fellow says, this is not true. To himself, he is not truthful. The person is not truthful to himself. This is where the problem is. कहने को तो कह दिया. It's a superficial statement. The moment a fellow is made to look a little deeper, or even little deeper look into this fellow's life itself, you will discover an entirely different story. Therefore, whenever Parikshanam takes place, whenever it is brought to analyze, in fact, certain things we take it for granted only when someone shows it. Look at this. Oh. Like certain spots that have appeared on your face, somebody says, what is this on your face? Huh? What is this? What is it? He goes with Parikshanam. You stand in front of a mirror. The fellow is not obsessed with the mirror, so he does not discover when white hair has come on his head. Yeah. Somebody else tells him, there is a sabed ball hair. And then he goes and has a look. Because if you have to put this in front, his eyes have to go down, so he has to look like this. Where is the white hair? People want to see their white hair and then get worried also. Grey hair. They call it grey, I don't know why. It looks white and they call it grey. Strange English. But anyway, so this is not a very truthful expression. Any deeper analysis will tell you the real face of the person, who will tell you in no uncertain words that I am dissatisfied as I am. It will not take much talk to bring out the dissatisfied person. 3 questions and you will know how dissatisfied the fellow is. Just keep the talk going and then you will say, dissatisfaction. And that is rampant, even in young people. The younger the people, the greater the dissatisfaction today. The fellow, I am quite happy with whatever it is, I don't want anything eternal. This fellow who said this, you start talking to him. Without asking this question, you start a conversation in a different manner. And then you will find, I am dissatisfied all the time. Younger fellow will be found dissatisfied all the time. Just now he has got some award, he is jumping around, everybody is there, it is a good time. A short 1 or 2 hours experience was there. And then starts the same fellow, I am dissatisfied, I am dissatisfied, I am dissatisfied, I am dissatisfied. So that raga he will discover after this noise is over. So I am dissatisfied is simply a matter of reckoning for this person. So simple. No deep thought is required. Although we said a look 1 step deeper. That is when you break his reverie, or when you break his revelry, he will come to his roots. Roots is I am dissatisfied. That I am dissatisfied is a universal feeling. Not comfortable as I am, definitely. Not in the physical sense only. Not comfortable as I am, so I am dissatisfied. Or at least the fellow will not say, I do not want to be happy. Can someone say, I do not want to be happy? Yes, a jnani can say, because he is already happy. Look at that. It is not on his wanting list, the list of wants. There is no list of wants for him. Nirindhana ivanalaha, akamahataha. Yes, there is somebody who has no more wants. He doesn't want wants. So nobody says, I do not want to be happy. Your inability to say this itself says, therefore, I am not all that happy. So for this fellow, happiness is a state. So presently there may be some happiness going around, but he realizes that he cannot make that statement honestly because he knows it takes only a few moments to get to the other side. And therefore, I want to be happy, something which nobody wants to deny. Again brings you back to the same thing. I am not happy as I am, really speaking. Now you got it? Parikshya Lokan. Parikshya dusra Lokan, Parikshya oneself. This Parikshya means you a little look at people or one's own statements that we keep making. Is as if I am satisfied. I am not a satisfied person. And looking at oneself reveals some fact about you, and that fact relates to being a wanting person. An unfulfilled person. I am dissatisfied. I am unfulfilled. Therefore, I am a wanting person. So you ask this fellow, he will definitely say, I want to be happy now. And I want to be happy later also. I want to be happy here. I want to be happy everywhere. I want to be happy here. I want to be happy here. I want to be happy now. And I want to be happy later also. Restrict mat kar dena. You get happiness only for today. अच्छा okay, आज तो दे दो, कल का कल देख लेंगे. The fellow will at least have some hopes. Tomorrow he will have some other reason to hunt for it. But then the fellow really wants to say, I want to be happy now also and later also. Here also and there also. That means wherever I am there, I want to be happy. So this underlying statement is that it's a constant want. It's a constant want. And I want to be happy not only now, but also in this current situation. And I want to be happy in any other situation also. So I want to be happy here, I want to be happy everywhere, I want to be happy in this and in all other situations. I want to be happy now and I want to be happy later. If this is the truth about anybody, if someone can say this is it, then there is one simple thing. Unless happiness is the nature of myself, unless this happiness is the nature of myself, And it is not something which is situational. Unless the happiness is my nature, the nature of myself, and it is not situational. Situation will come and situation will go. Irrespective of any situation, that is what the fellow is saying, in this situation or any other situation, irrespective of the situation, irrespective of the time or place, I want happiness means what? Happiness has to be the nature of myself and not something which is situational. And until this happens, it is not possible for me to be happy. Perhaps it is my nature. You understood? If what I am demanding, what I am wanting is that I want to be happy here, now, and everywhere, at every time, and in this situation, in every situation, it is not possible until happiness would be my own nature and not brought about by some situation. परिस्थिति मुझे प्रसन्न कर दे, आनंदित कर दे, तो परिस्थिति आएगी भी जाएगी भी, अनित्य है ही, इसलिए सदा मैं प्रसन्न नहीं हो सकता, सदा आनंदित नहीं हो सकता. परिस्थिति includes place and time. इस स्थान पर मैं प्रसन्न हूं, उस स्थान पर मैं प्रसन्न नहीं हूं, अभी मैं प्रसन्न हूं, कल को मैं प्रसन्न नहीं हूं. ऑल दिस कैन बी देयर. वो आनंद जो समय सापेक्ष नहीं हो, स्थान सापेक्ष नहीं हो, देश काल से बद्ध नहीं हो, और जो कि परिस्थिति के आने जाने से प्रभावित नहीं होता हो. यदि आनंद ऐसा मुझे चाहिए तो उसका एक ही समाधान है कि मेरा स्वरूप ही आनंद हो, तो ये संभव है. There is no other possibility. Any person, said, unsaid, this is the desire of everybody. Therefore, it is very simple. मुझे आनंद सदा सर्वदा सभी स्थानों पर सभी परिस्थितियों में तभी हो सकता है जब आनंद मेरा स्वरूप है. Unless the nature of the Atma is Ananda, happiness, I cannot be happy at all times, at all places, in all situations. And since that is exactly what I want, it shows something very clear. Possibly the truth is this. If what you want is that is only possible if the truth is this. यदि मेरे को वो चाहिए तो सत्य तो यही हो सकता है कि मैं आनंद स्वरूप हूं. There is no other possibility. Today we will break the Ananda here, because there should be Ananda everywhere at every time. Why not after 5:15? Anyway, so the Shishyatvam is a person's appreciation of all these things. One analyzes this, and one analyzes this through one's experiences, And an analysis of one's experiences means not only undergoing the experiences, but observing, critically looking at the experiences. And what we just now said, experience tells me the same thing. If I look at my experiences, not even the Shastra, my experience also tells me the same thing. If I care to look at my experiences, the experience will also say, may I say, may I answer? We have not looked into the experiences, that's all. They are ready to speak. Certain classes, some class teachers don't let some fellow stand and answer. And those are our experiences, all unsung experiences. They don't speak anything. You don't let them speak. You bulldoze their experience. You bulldoze their opinions. Anyway. So if I am intrinsically incomplete as a person, experience tells me that if I am intrinsically incomplete as a person, you look at it from the other side now. If I am intrinsically incomplete as a person, यदि मैं स्वभाव से ही, प्रकृति से ही अपूर्ण हूं, अपूर्णता मेरा धर्म है, मेरा स्वभाव है. If I am apurna, if that is intrinsically I am so, वही मेरा स्वभाव है, वही मेरा स्वरूप है. अपूर्णता मेरा स्वरूप यदि है, if I assume that I am incompleteness, that is my nature, मेरा स्वभाव वही है, then I cannot be occasionally satisfied. And I am occasionally satisfied. Intrinsically, if I am incomplete, then there is no way I can be satisfied at any given point of time, even occasionally. And often I have sense of satisfaction. Even experiences lead to the same understanding. They will lead you to Viveka, and then they will lead you to Mumukshutvam. You saw it from the positive standpoint, you saw it from the negative standpoint. This is Abhava standpoint. Intrinsically, I am an incomplete person. Abhava. Abhava is my nature. Abhava is my Swabhava. Then how can there be Bhava in between? If darkness is my nature, how come there are flashes of lightning? How come I have experiences of Ananda once in a while? Even if they are once in 24 hours for a short period, that is enough to keep me running for it. Therefore, my Swabhava cannot be intrinsically that of an incomplete person. This my experiences will force me to think, force me to understand. So, karmachitan lokan parikshya, atmanam cha parikshya. Atmanam, now we spoke here from the experiencer's point of view. Here we spoke about the experiences point of view. Therefore, Viveka is actually supposed to be natural, and Mumukshutvam has to be natural for a thinking person. Any thinking person, he will find it natural. If apatata jnanam is there, generally the fellow has heard the Shastra from somewhere and some people in some pravachan by some sadhu Mahatma Kathakar also, he can think, he can understand the desire for freedom from this seeking business is cultivated in the person. Stemming from examination of one's own experience, if he wants to learn from one's own experiences also, one will come to this point sooner or later. So we will continue this the next time. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.